for this moment is our inventory of homes to sell in Central Virginia. This is serious. Let's talk about this. So, we've been in a seller's market for a few years. That's been our cycle of real estate for several years. And what that means is that there are fewer than 6 months worth of inventory of homes to sell. If we have 6 months of inventory in our data, when we look at our real estate stats in Central Virginia, 6 months means that that's a balanced market. Sellers and buyers are equal. Okay, so that rarely happens. And we haven't been there in a very long time. So about a year ago, I would say early 2020, we had about 3 months of inventory. So that is a very strong seller's market. That means prices of homes go high because demand is high and supply is low. So 3 months of inventory is pretty hard for buyers to find something to buy. So I checked the stats this week. And this week, which here we're the beginning of February of 2021, we are less than 1 month. We're at about 3 weeks of inventory. This is historically low. So with that being said, about 3 weeks of inventory or less than a month of inventory for today's buyers is doing a few things. Number one, it is pushing prices up even higher of existing homes. Okay, so our home prices are going up. It's great for a seller, great for a seller. For buyers, it's more of a challenge. The second thing that's affecting us is that our interest rates are so low. I got a 2.5% 15-year mortgage quote today for a client. 2.5%, folks. It's unheard of, even in my entire lifetime. So all of these factors are shrinking our inventory and pushing our prices up. So what does that mean if you're a seller? Okay, if you're a seller, you can sell your house for top dollar right now. Now, that doesn't mean it can look like a piece of junk and it's still going to sell for top dollar. No, nobody's buying a top dollar house that looks terrible. So give me a call. Let me come take a look at what we need to do to prep it, get it ready, spit shine it a little bit. Let's do that and get you top dollar for your house. But it also means that you need to be wary of a future appraisal. And I'll talk more about appraisals in a separate message. But this seller's market is awesome for sellers. Now let's talk about buyer strategy, okay? Today, to be a buyer is even different than it was a year ago. Things have changed rapidly. A year ago, if you're a buyer, you could come to me and say, okay, I've got my down payment, but I may not have enough cash in my pocket for that 3% to 3.5% of the buyer's closing costs that I will need. So, something I would do is talk to the seller about helping you as a buyer with that closing cost. Today, folks, it's not happening. Sellers are not having to help buyers with closing costs. So that's going to be on you, the buyer. Let's talk about how we can make that work financially for you. So, they always say cash is king, right? Not many of us have cash to just pay for a house, but call me and let's talk about how much cash you really need today to be a legitimate home buyer, especially if you're looking in the Richmond area under 300,000. I know the formulas that are needed for you to be able to buy a home. Okay, and maybe now is not the time. Maybe you need a plan to get ready for that. Okay, and I can help you with that too. Just because it's not today doesn't mean it won't ever happen. But you need an experienced realtor, somebody like me, Hope George, your best hope in real estate, to get you on the path to that home ownership. So that's my advice today on this inventory and our strong sellers market.